Hi there, welcome to another unboxing. This one's a bit different in that I've actually had this for a while. I've decided that I'd go back through my catalogue of Kickstarters that I received before I actually started this YouTube channel. I know some of these are already done but by other people, but I just wanted to put it into my library at least anyway. As you can see, D6. This is a massive storage case that came with the game itself. D6. Dungeons, dudes, dames, dangers, dice, and dragons. Actually has a fair bit to do with that and that one. So I've had it for a little bit, but I haven't actually gotten around to play it yet, which kind of sucks actually. Here we have the manual, so it's a hardcover book. There's a few things in here which are really cool. It's meant, I guess it's meant to make it feel like it's a D&D book, in the fact that you've got your different enemy types, or this here itself, the GM events. So you roll a dice and you select and read out what happens. So place 2 gold tokens in the thicket. The first player to spend an action to get the thicket collects them. So there's a little bit of a backstory or history or something that happens. Let's bring that up closer and have a read of that one. And then in the bold black underneath it is the action that actually happens in game. A lot of these are actually pretty hilarious. There's a lot of stuff here, like a lot. Like I'm just skipping through the pages, and so there's 100. D10 options. The other ones will be the D100. Bunch of other stuff. Make your own little rules and whatnot. They've actually left sections for that. The tokens themselves, which are in the game, they've left space here, so if you wanted to create your own versions and stuff, which is really cool, actually. And then these you can actually get from their website, but it's like a character sheet for your character for within this game as well. And then from here is the actual characters that you can pick. The purpose of the characters themselves is you pick a character card, and that it's just literally visual what your character would look like. It has zero effect on the actual game itself, on what your character looks like. But depending on the class you pick has all the different stats and stuff. So, this character, it would look like a paladin or a warrior, but if you were using the rogue or something, you totally could, or magic user, or whatever it is, insert here. This is the Kickstarter all-in. The different weapons and stuff, the different game components. So, which is quite weird because it's near the end of the book. Like it's quite far back. But from here you can see there's some dice, the game boards, the trackers, the tokens, all the plastic tokens, the character standees, the action cube, the cards, all the extra stuff, and then you've got the expansion components and stuff as well. So I've had this for a number of years, and there is another, I guess, mini expansion for this that I've backed, but as the recording of this, I still haven't received the extra D6 stuff because of COVID. It's really slowed down, shipment and everything else. I'm sure if you watch this, you like board games, you would totally understand. There is a single player aspect to this as well. So the whole purpose of this is you run around the map, you hunt monsters, or you can fight other people as well. But here's the board. It's not very big, but you know, it works. You actually have a compass as well, which actually has a little nub, if you will, and there's a hole in the board which it sits, so it can actually freely spin. So this is how you keep track of your turn actions as well. And then you've got your in between, the intermarry, if you will. So it just comes with a like a cardboard token, but if you got a certain version, or you could actually buy a coin that was separate as well. The coin's pretty freaking sweet. So you just take out that and drop the coin in. So now you've got a really awesome coin that sits there. What's really awesome about this whole thing is everything has a spot. They've thought every single component into the actual the storage. Mixing up my words here. There's a lot of little Easter eggs to do with Certifiable Studios, which is the developer of this. Funny guys, great company, love their games. But there's a lot of little, like, I guess, Easter egg referencing to either previous games or just in-jokes amongst themselves. The Broad Soul. So that's a throwback to Hero Quest, which is, you know, as soon as you hear it, you'll know. So use your characters, you run around, you hunt creatures, and you get their hides. So that's the... Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Sorry about that. On the opposite side is a secondary map that they made. It's actually meant to look like the DM's table, where he has a bunch of components just spread out all over the table with notes and stuff for the characters to actually run around on, which is interesting. I'm pretty keen to actually play both. Here's the collection board for the single player. The dial sits in this one, in here. This is how you work out your turns, to go through there and your place for the single player. These are your tokens, that your hides that you have to get. These are your classes, which is pretty cool. They gave us so when you're playing on the board, like on the map, you can just place these tokens if you want, and this will show, you know, who's who. Really nicely sculpted. They look really cool. Just get in there. These go out on the board as well to show where a forest is, where some hills are, where the cemetery is. There's things like that too, and then you've got, these represent dungeons, where a dungeon would sit, which is pretty cool. Right, so these are the dice that come with it. So just standard roleplay dice. So your standard 7 would be is what there. But because of the edition that I got, I ended up with, oh, what's the name of the company? Kraken dice. So these are from Kraken. This special version that I got of the game. Here's your little health trackers. Every player gets their own special color. These are your skill trackers. So these go onto your player boards. Just move them around and that keeps track of what skills you've got. When you roll, you use these to actually show what stat you have in each of the ability scores. So you roll a dice to gain these. You place them in there. Move to the next layer. There's a lot to this. So these are the player boards. So the double thickness as well. So a lot of things sit in there. So here's your stats. That's where the tiles sit. So each character will have a, so the Slayer gets +1 to strength. That makes sense. The Woodling is +1 to stealth. The Explorer +1 to intelligence. And the Mesmerist is +1 to skill. So yeah, whatever skills you roll and you place in here, that obviously goes up. So your skills are on the side there. So these are where your trackers and stuff go. Your action tokens there. I have actually sleeved all my cards as well. So these are the standee characters. So they're double-sided. Have to be careful. There's actually a couple of lewd characters in here, so the artwork just matches the cards. So character card and this little standee. And you can actually transform as well. So there's alternate art of what the I guess the creature is that you transform to. There's a lot of characters in there. A lot. Let's move that for now. That's the amount of characters. There's so many. And then you have you've basically turned into an animal, but this is what you use to escape. And when you attack, your dice at the top is whatever it is that you're using to attack. Skeleton. It's a badger kind of thing. And the artwork is just awesome. There we go. Oh no, let's drop the cards. So the animal does not reflect what you think the character would look like. So whatever this thing is, so same creature. Yeah, that's just how it works. But yeah, I do like everything has its spot. Makes it easier to sort things or find where things go as well. But again, when you're choosing your character, it's literally just the art. Like, oh, I like this character. You pick the standee. These are your gather boards. So when you're hunting trophies, put your bounties in here, and your health potions sit there. So all of these are the same. The only difference is when you select your class. These are actual metal. So these are the coins that you use. These are your little companion, like your little cubes. In the expansion I'm waiting for, these little cubes are actually printed, and there's a glow-in-the-dark one as well. But those cubes will replace these cardboard tokens, which is cool. These are your health trackers, so they're plastic, little plastic tokens. Some little trackers here. These are wood. So these are pets that you can have. So +2 in all of those areas. gives an extra D4, gives a +2 in dungeons, and then gives a +1. More coins. Other dungeon tokens, specific enemies. So D12 +3 when it's in a forest. That's how much damage it deals. That's a fair lot, actually. So all of this is wooden tokens in there. So when you're selecting, you move around and you draw a token. So this is what you draw, and you place it somewhere. So the mushroom is a D4, and it's in the grass area. You get 2 coins. Got a little handful here. Goblin, more mushrooms, and the werewolf. Oh, sorry about that. And again, in the book, it has all these characters, all the creatures and stuff. This bag is pretty cool, actually. I like that. Goes in there. Now, these are pre-made. There's actual spots to leave it assembled. You put them in there. So these just go around the board. Training camp, fountain, empty your pack. Also just reminders of actions to do during your turn, when everyone has their turn as well. Dog mud, you get to reroll to get coins. Healing, rent a horse, any cash cubes, what they do as well. But yeah, I like how they just sit there. These ones are your quest cards. That's all for that. Yeah, that's the main game. Everything that you need. Stack everything back as it goes. The book on top. So that's your base game D6. And then the expansion called It Takes a Village. So this also adds some new classes. So 3 new classes. More of the mountains and stuff as well. So these are special trays that the cards sit in. And because of this special packaging, they stay assembled. So you have the werewolf, which you've already seen some of the character cards for. So your character will sit in here when you pick your card. The cleric. And the bard. You got colored skill trackers. Everything's all messed up. Standees, more of the little cash cubes. These have an effect in the game. I actually just forget what they do. In there's a like a fountain piece that stands. So I believe this tray is where the health sits. You just pour the health tokens into this, so it looks like a fountain. And then this one is where the gold coins go. So you can sit those around. And again, the cool thing about it is they're pre-assembled and they just sit in the tray. That's it. That's all done. Yeah, so I'll be doing the unboxing when I get the other expansion, the new one that I'm waiting on. And I'll actually do it as a different video. But yeah, I hope you can find a copy of this, even just the core game. I'm pretty sure it's at retail now because it's been a while. But yeah, leave me a comment if you have played this and if you enjoy it, or you might plan on actually getting it. Okay, thanks for watching.